Truckers X TV on air. We are now live in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the next episode of Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney Justice for All. In the previous episode, we began on day 1 of the trial of My Farewell Turnabout. Today, we're going to begin another part of My Farewell Turnabout. If you're happy with today's episode, make sure that like button is exposed. Really appreciate it, as we're going to talk to Oldbag. Witness, your name and occupation, please.
Hey. Yeah.
I've read her voice already. I wonder what happened to that calm composure he had earlier.
Oh, Edgy boy, it's been, what, a year since we last met, hasn't it? You should be more happy to see me.
I saw the report with her testimony. Who knew that under that helmet? It was the Wicked Witch of the witness stand.
I tell you, this time I know what I'm supposed to do. So today I'm going to tell you anything and everything. And even things that don't have to do with the terrible crime.
Miss Witness, that terrible crime is all this court needs to know. Oh.
Shush, I'm talking now to my dear Edgy Wedgy right now. Don't interrupt us, Gramps.
Oh, yes, madam. No. Please, by all means, interrupt her, please. Anyway, witness, your testimony, please.
It's true what they say, that youth are hot-headed nowadays, now that I mind it all, Edgy. Now then, what should I start with?
Our witness was on security till in the hotel on the night of the murder. Is this correct, Miss Oldbag? It was Old Hag.
It was a great job being able to see my dearie one. It was almost too much for my little heart to handle.
You mean you are a fan of the victim?
Look, everyone is crazy over to that Ungar saying he's cute in a fresh way or something. But not me. I wouldn't say anything so silly. After all, I have no interest in a little child like him. I'm only interested in a real man, Juan Corda. But those two were the same age. Anyway, as I was saying, I was pacing in front of his room that night.
Oh. Very well. Please tell the court what you witnessed the night of the murder. This is gonna be a long one.
Leave it to me, Edgy Boo.
This is disgusting. What you witnessed?
Anyway, after the ceremony, I went to pace around in the hallway in front of his room.
Why?
That was something I was interested in finding out, you know. Well, since I was on the job, I made sure to keep a good eye out the whole time. That's when someone showed up. It was a man coming out of our porch from one's room. It was Ungar, not Ungar. He was trying to sneak his way out of one's room.
I want to press on everything because they're disgusting. So Mr. Ungar came out from the victim's room.
See, it has to be him. He's the murderer.
I see. Well, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. What you witness? Why? Miss Oldbag, what was your post on that night?
The lobby. I was supposed to help set up the stage for that trifling show. I refused to help. I'll have you know it was for that lead-headed samurai show. I even took out a few of the nails.
Maybe it was a good thing the show didn't go on.
Besides, that manager with the glasses seemed to be working hard out without me. So I thought I'd take a break and spread my wings a little.
And that's when you went to hang around the victim's door. Well, why? Something you were interested in? And just what that was?
It's not some little thing I can just go around telling everyone, you know. It's top secret between me and one. Ah, and Edgy, of course.
Mr. Edward, what is this thing she was interested in? I have no idea. I despise. Isn't the spy spelled something else? Or, I don't know. Gossip, Your Honor.
Gossip?
This has something to do with the case, then you can append it to your testimony.
Looks like we should enforce it right now.
And the witness, stay in the vicinity of the victim's door the entire time? I think they're hitting on that, but not right now. Let's just press on everything. Oh, then would you tell us the number of people who went in and out of Mr. Corrida's room?
I have no idea. I wasn't born, so I couldn't count things for those who didn't pay attention in class. That's why ever since I turned 20, I quit keeping track of how old I really am.
Yes, well, that would explain why your age was not recorded in the report. In any case, the witness then saw someone, correct? Who in the world was that?
I'm not allowed to say. This sort of information has to be carefully guarded from the masses, Sonny. The man that came out of one's room. It was
He shall not be named. Yes, he was.
I'm too scared. I can't say his name out loud.
Oh, what I wouldn't give to have Franziska swept right about now.
Well, I guess I can tell you since he was such a bad boy anyway. Ugh,
this is disgusting. You saw my client? Are you sure about that?
Yes, see.
Yes, see. Really?
Annoying, Brack. When I say I saw someone, I saw that person.
Why do I get the sense of deja vu? Maybe to avoid a mess like last year, I should delve into this a bit further. I don't know, all three of them sounds right. Please tell the court about the man's face in more detail.
You don't need me to tell you about his face. That soft, gentle look in his eyes and his infinite lips. His right eye covered by his silky hair, his sparkling, shining teeth.
His teeth were shining?
Well, he's shining all around in this weak pin-up poster theory.
This week's pin-up? Why do you... I mean... I don't care how he looks in this week's issue. Please state what you saw that night.
What? Unguard's face is the same no matter where it is, right? You whippersnapper?
So, Mr. Wright, was this testimony just now important or relevant in any way? I don't know. It sounds all three of them sounds important right now. Of course it was important, Your Honor. Well, we're gonna press on them anyway. And perhaps you would like to point out what part of the testimony was important. You don't really have to put it that way to get me to say. Mr. Wright, there is something much more valuable. Wait, what voice am I going for? Than a person's pride. And that is time. Please don't waste this court's precious time. Yes, Your Honor. I think I just wasted his good favor.
She may not remember things or be mistaken here and there, but I don't think she's lying.
That's bad for us. Really bad.
But that's how the human mind is. It also has a tendency to jump off topic. She's strayed onto a few interesting side topics this time too, hasn't she?
Yes.
But that's what makes her a sweet old lady, right?
That's because you're not the one who has to question her. Go all the way to back. I think it was the last one, right? Press. I don't know, we're gonna try all three. I'm gonna look it up right now. Either way, they're all the same freaking options. No matter how you look at it. Yes, we got these three options. I don't know. Let's try the clothes. Please tell the court about the man's clothes in more detail.
What a troublesome man you are. Really, as if something like that matters.
But it does.
Now, what was it? Oh yes, it was that thing.
What thing?
That gaudy thing he's always wearing, that rat racing jacket.
He was wearing that at the detention center too.
That thing's meant for nothing but seducing women out of the pantaloons. Man.
Right. That does not help at all. Not very important. I guess it really wasn't that important after all. Mr. Wright, do you know why we say time is valuable? If not, I suggest you learn.
You wasted 3 minutes of this woman's youth. That's more valuable than gold to me.
And my intelligence seems to be reverted that of none. Okay, we already been through this, blah blah. We can go through the third option. 1, 2, 3, 4. Press. Okay, let's see the third option, the middle option. What was the man you saw carrying?
In which hand, his right or left? Now this is a real mess. I mean, I can't be expected to answer such a vague question.
Indeed, please be more specific with your question, Mr. Wright. Sorry, what was the man you saw carrying in his right hand?
He wasn't carrying anything in that hand.
Then how about his left?
Empty.
Well, this whole thing has been a lot of nothing. Okay, what am I supposed to do? All three of them sound chicken. That's on the. How can you tell? You can't make the same mistakes as the person's clothes. Since the race is the same jacket you saw down in the Tetris Center, the jazz answer it was. Why? Okay. I thought it was not very important because this, like, the descriptions, blah blah, but I guess it's this. Okay, let's go here. Now present. Back. Press. Speed forward. Okay, the clothes. And then we say it's important. Of course it was important, Your Honor. Why? But perhaps you would like to point out what part of the testimony was important. Don't you see it, Edgeworth? Your Honor, I request what the witness said about the jacket be appended to her testimony. I don't quite see where you're going with this, but alright, witness, please.
Ah, well, I don't like to be badmouth anyone without reason, but if I must.
Press. Are you sure the defendant was wearing a racing jacket?
What do you think? It's not like I've seen him in anything other than that horrible thing. I'm sure he was wearing it.
She's so sure of herself that it's so the point of self-absorption. Ah, here we go again. Okay, what is it now I'm supposed to? And then... okay. Present the button.
Objection!
This Oldbag.
What do you say of my name for no reason?
Do you know what this is?
Ah, it's a button 2. Number 2 on the Jam Ninja's costume.
Now I know she's an obsessed fan. She identified it in a single glance.
Give it here! Give it here! If you don't give it to me, I'll punish you with this.
Wow, she really is a die-hard fan to what a button covered in blood. This button was discovered on Mr. Ungard's body during a full-body search.
See? This button proves beyond a shadow of a doubt it was the rascal Ungard.
It was caught up in the pleats of his nickel samurai hakama pants.
See? And Ungard is the nickel samurai.
Witness! Now, it may just be me, and I do have an active imagination. But just now, didn't you say that the defendant, Matt Unger, was wearing his usual racing jacket?
I'm so sorry. Sorry that you judge people based on what they wear. If I wore that trendiest dress, me.
Okay. Where's that whip, please? And that's slow, come on now. Now hold your tongue still there for 1 second. So what you saw in actually was not Mr. Ungard the man? But Mr. Ungard the nickel samurai?
But when you think about it,
When you think about it, what?
they're really one and the same anyway.
Miss Oldbag, this is the very point we're talking about.
Edgy Pooh, do you think so too?
Well, it might be something worth thinking about.
Just say it's important and agree with me for a change.
Witness, think carefully and try to remember as much as you can before you testify.
Alright, if you insist. I should be the one signing, not you.
Oh, great.
Ungard. Yes, now I remember. The nickel samurai, that's right. It was the nickel samurai that I saw. Yes, it would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. He had to go to the post-ceremony stage show right after the crime, you know. So he must have worn that nickel samurai costume when he was stabbing poor one.
I knew it. I knew you'd say he was inside that costume.
What? Did you think there could have been someone else inside that costume? Don't be a bad little boy thinking such rude things.
But the possibility does exist.
Youngins today, I tell you there is no way it was anyone else.
How do you know that?
Because I said so, and what I say is the truth.
At least she's just as delightful as a witness as she was a year ago. That's alright, you may cross-examine the witness. Which is disgusting. I'm going, yes, now I remember the Nickel Samurai, that's... Be a little more careful with your testimony, please. Not too long ago, you said he was wearing his racing jacket and now he's not?
Not too long ago. Then let me ask you this, when you were itty bitty Brad, what was your grand dream? Huh? What did you want to be when you grew up, whippersnapper?
My dream, huh? Well, I wanted to be Judge Wagner, here at the public's court, so what?
See? And look at what you are now, you're not a Judge Wagner, aye.
Well...
What I said earlier, who puts any weight into things like that? And now it's everything, I can't be held responsible for the past.
Since when did court become theatrics over testimony?
All that matters is that man was inside the costume, isn't that enough?
He had to go to that post-center stage right after crime, you know. Was there anyone else scheduled to appear at the post-ceremony show?
Well, the contestants were supposed to go on stage in a friendly gesture thing.
And that included the Gem and Ninja?
Of course it included him. That's when Ungard came out of the Dear One's room. I didn't give it a second thought.
Oh, I see.
Well, anyway...
But why should he? So let me ask you one last time. The person you saw, it really was the Nickel Samurai?
As sure as ever. Haven't I been saying that from the very beginning?
Can I throw in the towel yet?
You don't need to think too hard on this one.
Huh?
The country...
Oh, sure, I didn't notice. Hold up. There you go.
The contradiction in her testimony. There's a contradiction in her testimony, and it's sitting in plain sight. The question is, what that contradiction means for us.
Well, I have to figure out what you're talking about first, but okay. The Nickel Samurai. So he must have been... What was his testimony? What do we have? Suicide report? No. Attempted suicide report? No. Strangle with a knife? Strangle with a scarf, then stab with a knife? Does she not know about this? Oh well, there ain't gonna be much. Okay, what do we have?
Anything in detail that I need to know?
Oh well. I mean, I could just present the profile. My client, a hotshot star who plays the Nickel Samurai, is rivals with the freaking Gem Ninja. Present the knife on the fifth statement. Please tell me why. Oh yeah, that's right. That was the thing I was kind of thinking right now. It's just one of the files that says stab, but okay. Please take a look at this.
Yeah, so it's a knife. Please, big deal. If you're trying to scare me with that, I'll have you know it won't work.
No, that's not my intention at all. That's the knife that was used in the murder, correct? Your Honor, do you know why the piece of evidence is important to this case? You don't even have to ask. It's because the defendant's fingerprints are on it. Is that why you're driving at? That is exactly what I'm driving at. What are you driving at, and whose car are we driving? If Mr. Unger was really in the Nickel Samurai costume at the time of the murder, then it's impossible for his fingerprints to have been left on his knife. Actually, he would have wiped all previous fingerprints on this knife right off. Oh, that's right. The Nickel Samurai wears gloves, doesn't he? He probably took his gloves off before he began the stabbing. And why would he do something like that? To leave his prints on the murder weapon? There's no way he would do something like that. However, there is one possibility. Now let's hear your possibility. It's very simple. The defendant went to the victim's room while in costume as the Nickel Samurai. At that time, the defendant had no intent to murder. He was probably just going to relax and talk with the victim about the stage show. Which is why he took his gloves off. But the murder still did take place. It's well known that the defendant and the victim had bad blood between them. Yes, I have heard of that. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say about Mr. Edwards' theory?
So let me get this straight. Edward's theory goes like this. When the defendant went to the victim's room, he had no intentions of killing him. Now, up to the point, are there any problems with this theory?
There's a contradiction.
This theory contradicts something in an earlier testimony.
What are you babbling about?
Now, for an argument's sake, let's suppose Mr. Unger was the killer. If that's the case, I think it's impossible for the killer to have gone to the victim's room without intent. And that's the knife, right?
Okay, let's just go with it. Present it again.
This knife. This was used by Mr. Unger at dinner.
Yes, we did establish that.
Which means that if my client was, in fact, the killer, then he brought this knife with him when he went to visit Mr. Corrida.
I suppose.
However, you just said it yourself. At that time, the defendant had no intent to murder. If that were true, then why would he be bringing a knife? He wouldn't, would he? Which means, Mr. Edgeworth, your theory was flawed from the supposition one. Supposition? And one more thing. If the murderer was wearing the costume at the time of the murder, then there should be glove marks left on the knife. Which means the defendant's fingerprints shouldn't be all over it like bees on a hive. And that brings me to my final point. This knife was planted by the real killer to hide their identity and mislead us.
Order! Order, I say! Order in the court! Was the knife really planted by the killer? Why would the murderer do such a thing?
To frame Matt Ungard. It's to frame my client, Mr. Ungard, of course.
To frame? Aren't you forcing the interpretation just a little too hard on this one?
But we just established that the witness saw the Nickel Samurai in costume. And if that were true, then there shouldn't be a single fingerprint on this knife.
Witness!
Looks like I made your life a tiny bit more difficult, huh, Edgy?
Where's the A button? Come on. Witness, did you or did you not really see the Nickel Samurai?
Well, I guess at first I might have forgotten, but...
Are you saying you mixed up Mr. Unger with the Nickel Samurai, his character on TV?
But I mean, I can't really do anything about that. Look, I was waiting around in front of their doors because, well, I wasn't waiting around for the Nickel Samurai, that's for sure.
She wasn't waiting for the Nickel Samurai. Alright then. Who were you waiting around for then?
That's top secret to anyone outside the security.
I have a feeling that you were waiting for Mr. Juan Corda, am I correct, witness?
Ha ha ha. The way you think, you are a sad amateur with a terrible case of nearsightedness.
Amateur? Me? What am I amateur of?
So Oldbag was waiting for around in front of the victim's room. But it doesn't sound like she was waiting to catch a glimpse of Mr. Corrida. Maybe. Phoenix. Maybe the Oldbag was waiting around for that person.
That, if it's who I think Mia's hinting at, it's certainly possible. This Oldbag. You were waiting for this person to come out of the victim's room, weren't you?
Oh, okay.
Who is this person?
This is Adrian Andrews, Mr. Ungard's manager.
Well, why would the defendant's manager be in the victim's room? It seems that this is the latest rumor in circulation, Your Honor.
I see.
The judge seems to be really into the article, if it can be called such a thing.
And this manager with the initials AA, are you saying it's Adrian Andrews, without a doubt? The witness thought so as well.
Looks like you found me out. Well, that's fine. I can throw away the whole sworn to confidentiality stuff.
Witness, what in the world are you?
Watch out, Phoenix. I've got a bad feeling about this. A very bad feeling. I got some information, some very secret information from a certain source. So that's why I was doing my own little investigation, in secret of course.
Well, what for?
Oh, just for myself. Personal reasons and all that.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, how will we proceed from here? I really don't want to do this, however, I cannot simply let this point slide. I see. Very well then, witness, please testify about this secret information.
Get ready. This is going to take the wind out of you youngins.
I'm sure we're all capable of handling this. Really, it's not like we're 10 years old. Secret information.
The on-guard is one evil man. He thought he could ruin poor Juan by causing a huge scandal. So, to do that, he sent his own manager to get close with Juan. I cannot condone such dirty tricks, so I took action. Oh, and this top secret, you got that? Nobody else but you and me know yet, okay?
The defendant sent his manager. What a distasteful topic for this court.
What? Nobody's above gossip? And isn't there a saying, the truth is never pleasant?
Never heard that one before.
Mr. Edgeworth, what about this Adrian Andrews person? We have looked into this matter, and found that the truth the article proposes is in fact baseless gossip. But should this be true, then this proves that the defendant did bear ill will towards the victim.
So this means I have to smash the rumor once and for all.
Now then, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Be careful. The old bag seems rather excited right now. I said old bag, yeah.
That's right, Angar is nothing but your average foul-blooded youth.
Well, as the old saying goes, you've gotta burn old bags with fire. Time to fire up the afterburners and hit the highway to the danger zone. Secret information. Yeah, Angard is one evil man. He thought he could ruin poor Juan by causing a huge scandal. So to do that, he sent his own manager. What do we have? What do we have? An article from the tabloid Gossipland. Touch the details. Superstar and ultra hot mega secret love scandal. Reliable sources said that one court has been getting close with the mysterious yet beautiful manager to the stars. Okay. Juan Corda was her suicide note. Shot from Celeste impacts. We got nothing. The only thing we got is that, so all we gotta do is press for answers. A scandal? What do you mean by that?
You're a diminutive one, aren't you? I can't believe you don't know what a scandal is. Honestly, what are they teaching kids in middle school these days?
No. I wasn't asking for the world scandal means. Word. Even though I know that much.
Well, that Engar thought he could own a monopoly on popularity.
You don't have any proof that Mr. Ongar did any such thing.
You must be suffering from shock, the shock of hearing the truth. And now, since you're in so much shock, you can't do anything, right?
You're right. I can't do anything, but boy, do I wish I could do something about you.
Alright then, Sonny, show me what you've got. Can you show me proof that Angar didn't bear any ill wills towards Juan?
He doesn't bear ill will? What do we have? What do we have? We got nothing that presents ill will towards him. Because everybody says it's this, oh, everybody says it's that. We got nothing. Okay.
What the heck? Press on fifth statement. How does... Okay. Decline the offer present.
I don't have anything to offer.
See, just as I thought. And you were lecturing me about saying without things without proof. You're just giving me free pass to say whatever I want, silly boy.
Me and my big mouth.
That's the way the cookie crumbles for you, anyway.
Wait.
What? I'm a busy woman. Tea time with the kids is over.
Secret information that no one else knows yet? If that's true, then how do you know all this secret information?
Huh? Well, that's because I'm a pro, yes, that's it. It's a secret. Even if you drill a hole in my brain, you'll never find out.
How in the world did that old bag get a secret piece of information?
Present or press?
So no one else is supposed to know this secret information, correct? If that's true, then why do you know it, Miss Oldbag?
Why are you looking at me like that? Stop that!
Witness! I'm sad to say it, but this is how you found out this secret, isn't it? The investigative photographer, Lotta Hart.
Oh yes, I remember that mischievous girl.
She reported that she had lost a certain note that she had written to herself.
She reported such a thing?
On that piece of paper, she had bit my tongue. Had written down some of her radio or impressions, I don't know what that said, about the relationship between the victim and Miss Andrews.
What? Outrageous ideas, you say?
Oh, so that's what he was going. No, I said impressions.
Man. And everything written on this piece of paper is completely meaningless.
Ah, that's it. That's the note.
No, you see, this is something completely different. This is my top secret list of groceries to buy.
Then you're the one who took Miss Hart's note.
I'm a huge fan of Juan's, that's why. That's infamous puffy-haired whippersnapper. She's working with that evil on guard. She said to herself, "On guard, I'm his sidekick." She was so happy, smiling like a silly duck. I was only checking with that she had written. Touchy boo, you believe me, don't you? I was only trying to help out like the angel I am. It's only a little piece of paper. I've never taken anything else before.
You really should come with a supply of cheese to match your vintage wine. Well, it was a piece of paper. I suppose we can overlook this once.
She looks like she's really sorry. Should I forgive her? Pile on more pressure. If I let up on her now, she'll get away. I have to find some way to inflict a deafening blow to the prosecution. Witness! You said that the only thing you stole was that note. Is this correct?
Stole? Why do you listen to me carefully? You're an annoying brat. I seek this piece of paper from the terrible, lonely trash can. That's all.
You're lying, damn it, and I can prove it.
Are you putting my credibility under scrutiny again?
This Oldbag? I don't believe that note is the only thing you stole that night. Miss Oldbag, that note was with a camera inside its case, wasn't it?
A camera?
Yesterday, Lotta Hart was raising a huge stink over her camera. She kept saying something like, "My sweetie, $1,600 camera disappeared on me."
Why, witness!
What is it, Gramps?
If you have the note, then it's only logical that you have the camera too.
Looks like you found me out again, Sonny. Is this the camera you're looking for?
That's...
What? Even though I look like this, I'm still a person, you know. I still eat meals like you. I fall in love and borrow things from people.
I think your definition of borrow is a little off.
I saw that woman's business card, and that's when I noticed it said, Slimebag Celebrity Photographer Extraordinaire. When I saw that, I had to know what sort of picture she had taken. I'm a professional security guard. It's my business to know what these things.
Bailiff! Check this camera's photos, hurry! We must examine them at once. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what do we have? There is only one photo that seems to be relevant to this case. Please present it to the court. This is the Nickel Samurai.
See, I told you that's the guy I saw.
This proves that the witness was not lying earlier about this matter. What does all this mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This photo by itself does not prove that the person in it is the defendant. However, in his own confession, Mr. Ungar clearly stated that at this time of the murder, he was still in his Nickel Samurai costume. If that is the case, then this Nickel Samurai is the defendant. How did it come to this? I think this brings us to the end. We have to examine every piece of evidence thoroughly. Final comments, Mr. Wright? The court will consider them before we close. Do you agree that this photo is decisive evidence against your client?
If this photo really is decisive, then we're done for. But if I raise an objection here and blow it, then I would put Miles' life in jeopardy. I can't make a mistake here. There is only one road out of this mess. This photo that Lotta took, there's something strange with it. There's something strange with this photo.
I knew this was coming, right? Your thoughts, Mr. Edgeworth? I think we can all agree there is nothing strange with this photo. There's no way for the defense to debunk this photo, even with the bunker buster. Debunk with the bunker buster? Is that what you're planning to do, Mr. Wright?
Anyway, please look at the photo one more time.
If you really believe you can honestly find something wrong with this photo, then you should only need one chance, correct?
Well, I have to find something wrong with this photo. I can't let this chance go by. Where in the heck did she take this photo anyway? It's all out of focus. Why can't she take a good shot, especially when it counts?
Now then, let's hear your objection.
Wouldn't that be the hand? Because, well, we can't show the evidence because the posters show something completely different. Am I right? Or not? It seems. Why present the feet area? Okay, let's just go with that. I would like to direct the court's attention to this one area right here.
What are you pointing to? His ankles?
If you could see this person's ankles, that would be one thing. However, you can't.
And what does that mean?
The Nickel Samurai in this photo could not have been Mr. Ungard.
What is the meaning of this?
Wait. I want to check something out. We could play the theme. Because this shows that. Because his feet are right here. That's why.
I wonder if you would care to elaborate what actual facts that is.
Let's take a look at the Nickel Samurai's poster. Here we go. Please pay particularly attention to the area around the bottom of the hakama. Oh, so that's what a hakama is.
His socks? You can see his socks.
Exactly. However, in this photo, the Nickel Samurai is clearly holding the hakama. Is clearly holding his hakama up just to walk. There is only one explanation for this. The person inside this costume is clearly much shorter than the defendant.
Order!
Alright, I think I've turned this thing around for myself this time. That's curious. Huh, what is? Edgeworth is unusually calm today. That's true. He's just letting the trial run itself as if he's only along for the ride. Along for the ride? What do you mean by that? I can only think that perhaps he doesn't feel under attack at all. He doesn't feel under attack? And he's not taking any damage?
Mr. Edgeworth, where does this leave us? If the person in this photo is not Mr. Matt Ungard, then everything the prosecution has tried to prove has become meaningless. I thought it would come to this.
What?
Right, I have something I want to ask you. I think you have proven that the person inside the costume is not Matt Ungar. In that case, who is this a photo of?
Who is the person wearing the Nickel Samurai costume? Don't stress out over this, Phoenix. It's very simple. What should be focused on is Edward's attitude, don't you think?
Yeah, why is he so calm?
Mr. Wright, let's hear your thoughts. Who is the person in this photograph? Adrian Andrews?
If you want to know who that Nickel Samurai is, it is none other than this woman.
And why would you say it would be Miss Andrews? What in the world points you to her?
For starters, she's short, and she can freely move in out of Mr. Ungar's room. Finally, she had dinner with Mr. Ungar that night.
And how does that all add up?
It means that it makes it very easy for her to get a certain item. A certain knife with Mr. Ungar's fingerprints all over it.
The knife that was used as a murder weapon? Why don't you say what it is you want, right?
I have to do this now. This is my last chance to turn things around. The defense motions to indict Miss Adrian Andrews in the murder of one Corrida. It was Miss Andrews who tried to friend the defendant for that crime.
Order! Looks like this trial has hit a most unexpected development. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor. This court is issuing a subpoena for Miss Adrian Andrews. A verdict cannot be passed without first hearing her testimony.
Alright, this is it.
This is kind of bad for us.
Huh? What do you mean?
Adrian Andrews is summoned to court as a witness. It means that the trial will go on for another day.
One more day. Ah! If I don't get a verdict today, then Maya...
Now then, we shall set Miss Andrews for tomorrow.
What am I supposed to do? The judge is about to adjourn the court.
Raising an objection? This is all we can do. You have proven Adrian's wait.
Blah blah, yeah. Why you have proven the judge to have... No, doing so will kill Maya. You have to give a choice. It doesn't matter which sentence and which... What?
Now then.
Please, Your Honor, continue the trial. You must pass a verdict today.
I can't do that. We cannot hear Miss Andrews' testimony if she's... Hold it. A bore? Wasting such valuable time.
Edgeworth!
Your Honor, I request that you please continue with today's trial. But we cannot continue due to this unexpected development. Test. Unexpected development? I think you underestimate me, Your Honor. What do you mean by that? And Mr. Phoenix Wright would slave his way to subpoenaing Miss Adrian Andrews is all. Happening coin to play, even if Wright was a bit slow to catch on.
Oh, what?
What is the meaning of your statement, Mr. Edgeworth? Miss Adrian Andrews is currently waiting in the prosecution lobby. She is the next witness.
Everything was planned out in advance by that man?
Somehow I knew there was no way Edgeworth would overlook Miss Adrian Andrews. Looks like this matter is far from over.
Exactly. Very well. We will call the next witness. However, before we proceed, we shall take a 10-minute recess. Please prepare your witness in that time, Mr. Edgeworth. The court will now take a 10-minute recess.
With that, we'll end today's video right here, ladies and gentlemen. Like, comment, subscribe. Shirako6 TV, and I'm signing out.